Let's take a look at this problem. It says write the number as a product of prime factors. We've got 552. Okay, so 552. Remember our primes are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, sometimes 13. There's actually an infinite number, but most problems revolve around those. So I start with 2. And it's divisible by 2 because it ends with digit 2. And that'd be 2 times 276. 2's prime, so we circle it. Now we're still on our first prime, 2, and it's still divisible by 2 because it ends with the digit 6. And 2 times 138. 2's prime, so I circle it. 138 is divisible by 2. 2 times 69. 2's prime, so I circle it. Now 69 is not divisible by 2, so go to my next prime, which is 3. It is divisible by 3. 3 times 23. 3's prime, so I circle it. And actually, 23's prime, so I circle it also. So we're going to have 3 2's, 1 3, and 23. I'm going to check that. My calculator. I got 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 23. And that gives us our original 552. Okay, so that looks good. So prime factorization of 552 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 23. And okay, I guess I click this next one. Now that one was kind of proving me wrong because it went above 11, but most of them don't have the larger primes. Okay, least common multiple of the following numbers. So we've got 325 and 675. So the LCM of 325 and 675. Now we have 2 steps for that. First one we do is the prime factorization of each number. Okay, 325. It's not divisible by 2 because it doesn't end in the correct digit. It's not divisible by 3 because if I add digits together, this is not divisible by 3. But it is divisible by 5 because it ends in a 5. So 5 times 65. 5's prime, so circle it. This is still divisible by 5. 5 times 13. 5's prime, so circle it, and 13's prime, so circle it. So this is 5 times 5 times 13. Now 675 is divisible by 5. 5 times 17, so 335. Double check that. Okay, 5's prime, so circle it. 135 is 5 times 27. 5's prime, so circle it. Actually, that was divisible by 3. I didn't even notice that. Because this is 3 times 9. 3's prime, so circle it. And 9 is 3 times 3. And both of those are prime, so I circle them. So it's 3 3's and 2 5's. Now we start with our first prime, the 3. We're looking for the greatest number of 3's on a single line. There's none here. There's 3 of them here. So we're going to have 3 3's. Then we go to the 5's. And we're looking for the greatest number of 5's on a single line. We got 2 5's here, 2 5's here. So the greatest number of 5's on a single line is 2. And then 13, we got 1 here, none here. So the greatest number of 13's on a single line is 1. So 3, 9, 27. 27 times 25 times 13. Geez, that's a big number. 8,775. Let's double check that. TA3, TA4 does have that function on it. If I press my math, right arrow to num, up arrow, and if you keep up arrowing, we're looking for LCM. And do enter on that, and I'll put in 325, comma 675. 8,775. That is our answer. 8,775. Then go to the next problem. Let me clear this off. Then we got 15 over 21. And simplify the fraction in the lowest terms. Well, I notice right away that top and bottom both divide by 3. So I got 15 divided by 3 over 21 divided by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So our answer is 5/7. You could also use your calculator to simplify that. If I got 15 divided by 21, and then you press enter, you get a decimal. Anytime you get a decimal, you simply do math, enter, enter, that'll change the fraction. So that gives us our 5/7. And go to the next problem. Subtract 7 minus 8. Now this is the case where we get different signs. One's positive, one's negative. So let's go through that. When you got different signs, you ignore the signs, so you got 7 and 8. You subtract smaller number from larger number. 8 minus 7 is 1. And then the sign of the answer is the original sign of a larger number. My larger number is 8. It originally was negative. So this is going to be a negative 1. Then I got negative 17 and negative 13. We're still combining these numbers together. This is the case where the signs are the same. So we ignore the signs. So we got 17 and 13. You add them together. 17 plus 13 gives us 30. And sign of the answer is the original sign of the numbers, and they originally were negative. So our answer is negative 30. Okay, go to the next problem. Now here we got 19 minus negative 28. Now negative negative becomes a positive. So this is 19 plus 28, which gives us 47. Now here we got the product. Now I really don't need to write this down. Positive times a negative is a negative, and then you multiply like normal. 7 times 2 is 14. So our answer is negative 14. Now here, a negative divided by negative is positive, and then you divide like normal. 28 divided by 4 is 7. Simplify this fraction, 6/9. Well, top and bottom both divide by 3. So we got 6 divided by 3 over 9 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So our answer is 2/3. And we could check that on the calculator if we wanted, but I've shown one of those. So 2 divided by 3. And go to the next problem. Okay, find the product. Got negative 2/5 times 35. Now if you're going to multiply fractions, they both should be fractions. So I'll put this over 1. Now if you can divide a number on top and a number on the bottom by the same number, do so. And here I got 5 and 35. They're both divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 35 divided by 5 is 7. Nothing left to simplify, so I'll multiply the top together. Negative 2 times 7 is negative 14. And I'll multiply the bottoms together. 1 times 1 is 1, which negative 14 over 1 is simply negative 14. Another one, we got negative 2/3 times 9/4. Again, if you can divide a number on top and a number on the bottom by the same number, do so. We got 3 and 9 are both divisible by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we've got negative 2 over 1 times 3 over 4. And we still have something we can work with. 2 and 4 are both divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we're going to have negative 1 over 1 times 3 over 2. Nothing left to simplify, so we multiply tops together and bottoms together. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. 1 times 2 is 2. So we get negative 3/2. Okay. Now division. We'll clear this off. And we've got 4 over 25 divided by 8 over 15. We never actually do division, so we're going to rewrite this as multiplication. And you do that by flipping your fraction that follows a division symbol. So this would be 15 over 8. Again, if you can divide a number on top and a number on bottom by the same number, do so. Here is 4 and 8, both divisible by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we got 1 over 25 times 15 over 2. And we can do a little bit more simplifying. 25 and 15 are both divisible by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So we end up with 1/5 times 3 over 2. Nothing left to simplify, so we multiply tops and the bottoms together. So 1 times 3 is 3. 5 times 2 is 10. So our answer is 3/10. Now here we're adding, subtracting fractions. So I got 17 over 20 minus 9 over 20. Now our first step is normally to get a common denominator. These already have the same denominator. And so then we'll subtract top part. 17 minus 9 gives us 8. And then you simplify your fraction if possible. In this case, the top and bottom will both divisible by 4. So I got 8 divided by 4, and I got 20 divided by 4. Now 8 divided by 4 is 2, 20 divided by 4 is 5, so our answer is 2/5. Okay. Now here we got 6 minus 4/3. I should mention on these, you can do them on the calculator, and it does it fantastic. The only thing I wouldn't recommend is doing the division. You should first rewrite as multiplication, then you can plug it in your calculator. But like on this last one we just did. If I did 17 divided by 20 minus 9 divided by 20, press enter, you get a decimal, and you do math, enter. And that'll give you your 2/5. This one, if I did this second line right here, 4 over 25, so 4 divided by 25 times, and then 15 divided by 8. Press enter, we get 0.3, and then I do math, enter, and that gives us our 3/10. This one you could do 6 minus 4 divided by 3, enter, and then math, enter. And that gives us 14/3. I'm going to go ahead and do it though. Thought I'd mention that. Now if I'm going to subtract fractions, it's beneficial to both fractions. I'll put this as over 1 minus 4/3. We want to get a common denominator. If one of your denominators is 1, the other denominator is your common denominator. So I'm going to rewrite each fraction with my new denominator. Now the 4/3 is fine, but the first fraction, we multiplied the bottom part by 3 to get our new denominator, so we have to multiply the top part by 3. So that'd be 18. And 18 minus 4 gives us 14 over 3. You could also use the mixed number rule, where you take your number that's out in front, you multiply it times your denominator, you add your numerator, and then your denominator stays as is. Now you have to be careful when you do this. That minus that was in the middle there, I put it up on top. You have to make sure it always goes up in the numerator. So again, 6 times my denominator, add my numerator, and your denominator stays as is. So we get 18 minus 4 over 3, which is 14 over 3. Okay, 14 over 3. Now here's another fraction. So let me clear this off. And I got negative 14 over 15 plus 4 over 9. Now we want to get a common denominator. So we need to find the LCD of 15 and 9. This is the same steps as finding an LCM. You do the prime factorization of each number. 15 is 3 times 5. 9 is 3 times 3. Then your LCD starts with your first prime 3. We're looking for the greatest number of 3's on any single line. There's 1 here, there's 2 here, so the greatest number of 3's on any single line is 2. Then the 5, there's 1 here, none here, so the greatest number of 5's on any single line is 1. And 3 times 3 is 9, times 5 is 45. So we're going to rewrite each fraction with that new denominator. Now in our first fraction, we multiply the bottom part by 3, so we have to multiply the top part by 3. Now in our second fraction, we multiply the bottom part by 5, so we have to multiply the top part by 5. Which gives us negative 42 over 45 plus 20 over 45. Negative 42 plus 20 gives us negative 22 over 45. Calculus is really nice, even if you're doing it by hand, to check yourself. So we got negative 14 divided by 15. Assuming you can type it in correctly. Plus 4/9. Press enter. We get a decimal, so then I do math, enter. And we get negative 22 over 45. Okay, let's look at this one. We got 30 plus 6 times 4. This is an order of operations. Please, there's no parentheses. Excuse, there's no exponents. My dear, multiplication division. So I'm going to do the 6 times 4 first, which is 24. And Sally, addition subtraction. 30 plus 24 is 54. Okay, there we go. Now we got 154 minus 4 times 7 plus 18. Please, there's no parentheses. Excuse, there's no exponents. My dear, multiplication division. So I got 4 times 7. So I'm going to have 154 minus 28 plus 18. And Sally, addition and subtraction. So we got 154 minus 28 gives us 126. And our last addition and subtraction, 126 plus 18, assuming I didn't make a basic math error, would be 144. Okay, our next one. So we got 13 plus or minus 2 plus negative 8 times 3. Please, do what's inside parentheses, or in this case brackets. We do got that. And we'll follow that order of operations within there, which says do multiplication first. Everything else carries down. So we got negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. Still doing what's inside the brackets. We only got one thing left. 2 minus 24 gives us negative 22. Now I kept the brackets there because there's a minus in front of it. And remember, if you got a negative, parentheses, or brackets, negative, that becomes a positive. So we got 13 plus 22, which gives us 35. Okay, now let me clear this off. Okay, so we got negative 3 to the third power plus 4 squared divided by 3 squared minus 5. Please do what's inside the parentheses first. Well, inside we do the exponents first. We got 3 squared, which is 9, minus 5. Still doing what's inside the parentheses. 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay, please excuse exponents. I'll do the 3 to the third now. The negative carries down because the exponent only affects what's to its immediate left. 3 to the third is 27. Plus 4 squared divided by 4. Still doing the exponents. Our next one is 4 squared, which is 16. Please excuse my dear. I do multiplication division. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And Sally. Negative 27 plus 4 is negative 23. Okay. One more of those. We got 4 squared minus 5 over 13 minus 4 times 2. All of it to the second power. Now please, do what's inside the parentheses. Inside the parentheses we have a fraction. And when you have a fraction, you do the top part first, or do the top part separate from the bottom part. And then you handle the fraction. Well, 4 squared is 16 minus 5. Now on the bottom, we got 4 times 2, which is 8. Still up on top, 16 minus 5 is 11. And 13 minus 8 is 5 squared. Now there's nothing to handle on a fraction. I thought that would come out nicer than that. 16 minus 5 is 11. 13 minus 8 is 5. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Now we're going to square the top part, 11 squared, which is 121, and we'll square the bottom part, 5 squared, which is 25. So we got 121 over 25. I'm going to submit the test now. Let's see if I got any wrong, and we'll go back and correct what I did wrong. Looks like I got them all right. I don't always. Sometimes my eyes get off and I just overlook something. But that's the review.